So Tom Cruise just reminded the entire planet why he's the king of Hollywood, while Pedro Pascal, on the other hand, fumbled his reputation with a politically charged meltdown in front of the world. And Tom Cruise walked the red carpet in New York and showed simply what professionalism and star power really looks like. With Mission Impossible, the Final Reckoning is just a movie, is basically a statement. Now, Tom Cruise has proven that, he's not only still got it, but he's leaving everyone else in the dust. Meanwhile, Pedro Pascal, as you all seeing over here, gets destroyed in the media for yet another tone deaf political rant, burning bridges faster than Hollywood can actually build them. All right. Now, Tom Cruise isn't hiding behind a ideology. He's not picking fights with half the country. He's actually too busy doing the impossible, okay? Literally, stunt after stunt, film after film, decade after decade, Tom Cruise shows up and delivers. Pedro Pascal, on the other hand, used his spotlight at the Cannes Film Festival to insult conservative Americans, as I've told you all before, and throw gasoline on the culture war fire. And for what? To prop up a pretentious political satire that no one even asked for. Now, Eddington might win points with Hollywood elites, but it's already a nightmare for Pedro Pascal's very own public image, okay? Now, the contrast here couldn't even be clearer, with Tom Cruise spent the week being celebrated for refusing to slow down, for pushing cinematic boundaries and stuff, and for lifting up other actors like Michael B. Jordan. Now, for sinners. And Pedro Pascal spent the week throwing out reckless statements about Donald Trump and immigration, and even licking a light that's with the phallic shape and non-conservative audiences. Millions of paying fans are done with him. It's not even a fair fight. One man's building a legacy, the other's dismantling this in real time. Now, Pedro Pascal isn't just a bad PR headline, he's a political liability. He openly trashed the president's immigration policies, used profanity to call out Americans he disagrees with, and doubled down by defending a film that mocks gun owners, religious conservatives, and Southern culture. Now, this man went to Cannes and, turned a press tour into a full blown culture war meltdown. And somehow he thinks that won't backfire. I mean, Pedro Pascal just handed his critics every piece of ammo they need on a silver platter. All right. Now, Tom Cruise doesn't even insult people to go ahead and stay relevant. You see, he builds his brand on excellence, not division, and the media gets it. Even Variety Entertainment Tonight, the Hollywood Reporter and stuff, everyone's basically singing praises for Tom Cruise, not just for this movie, but for how he's carried himself. You see, he's not lecturing audiences. He's actually focused on work, the craft itself, the action, and even the fans. Okay, now that's dominance right there. That's what real star power look like. On the other hand, you have Pedro Pascal here, who could have learned something from Tom Cruise, like how to simply just shut up and do the job. Instead, he went full activist mode, using his family's escape from Chile as a launching pad for to just slam American politics. I mean, sure, it's emotional, sure, it's also personal, but turning a red carpet into a political battlefield, that's not bravery right there. That's narcissism. And Pedro Pascal isn't speaking true to power. He's just making himself the story, and not in a good way, okay? Meanwhile, you also have Tom Cruise, who is getting ready to wait for the results for this box office with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. All right, so it's supposed to be not just another sequel. It's basically supposed to be a swan song of the greatest action roles in film history. And Tom Cruise didn't take shortcuts. You see, he did all this, most of the stunts. He shaped the story. He earned every headline. Pedro Pascal, on the other hand, is out here trying to win the culture war on the red carpet and losing his audience in the process. Now, let's also not forget, Pedro Pascal is attached to some of the biggest, franchise out there, including Star Wars, Marvel, specifically the Fantastic Four. Now, if he keeps acting like this, those franchises are in trouble. You can't have your lead actor mocking half your fan base and expect no blowback. Now, Pedro Pascal is actually supposed to be a professional, but instead, he's becoming an insufferable activist who actually thinks a canned microphone is his personal soapbox, okay? And also, while Pedro Pascal flounders, I mean, Tom Cruise just inked a new deal with Warner Brothers and stuff to produce fresh original projects and stuff. And he's not clinging to tired IPs or forcing sequels. He's shaping the future, and audiences trust him to do it. Now, Tom Cruise isn't, caught up in online drama. He doesn't need to win Twitter arguments. He's just out here making billion-dollar films and walking away with applause, basically. I mean, that's right there. That's not even luck. That's earned respect. But Pedro Pascal, on the other hand, I mean, let's be honest. He keeps trying to walk this line where he plays a victim of political pressure, but also, dishes out political heat like a CNN anchor. You see, he can't have it both ways. If you want to be an actor, be an actor. But if you want to be a political commentator, don't act shocked when people push back. Now, Pedro Pascal's meltdown at Cannes didn't, make him brave. It made him reckless, actually. Okay. Now, Tom Cruise's secret, well, he actually respects the audience. That's it. That's not even much of a secret, to be real with you. He knows how you don't need to agree with every ticket buyer. You just need to entertain them. And he's done that for 40 years straight. That's why Tom Cruise is still dominating the box office. And that's also why, people still line up for his movies because he keeps it simple. Okay. Pedro Pascal, on the other hand, he's burying himself in controversy and is actually getting over pretty fast. Now, Pedro Pascal defenders will say, oh, he's just passionate. He cares. I mean, sure, but passion without wisdom is actually dangerous, especially when you're the face of a $1 billion franchise and stuff. And Pedro Pascal could have just used Can to talk about, storytelling, legacy, or performance, but instead he dropped a political grenade to appease the minority and walked off the stage. I mean, it's a self inflicted wound, and the backlash basically predictable. Now, Tom Cruise isn't just avoiding politics, he's elevating the art form itself. Now, every movie he touches becomes a political or cultural event, and not because of controversy, because of craftsmanship. That's what actually separates him from actors like Pedro Pascal, who chase headlines instead of excellence. And Tom Cruise didn't need to go into a meltdown to go viral. He just needed a motorcycle jump, death-defying stunt, flying on the airplanes on the outside, and a good story. Now, Pedro Pascal, on the other hand, is slowly becoming the face of Hollywood's political overreach. And he's in everything right now, yet somehow manages to offend just as many people as he entertains. That's not range, that's chaos. Whether it's The Mandalorian, Fantastic Four, or even Eddington, if Pedro Pascal keeps talking, these projects are going to suffer. Fans want escape, not lectures, and definitely not a thinly veiled attack on their values. Now, Tom Cruise, on the other hand, is wrapping up, his iconic role as Ethan Hunt with grace, power, and unity, whereas Pedro Pascal is setting fire to bridges with his own audience, creating division where there doesn't need to be any. One man's career is peaking, the other facing serious decline. The industry is watching and fans are watching, and the contrast is brutal. Tom Cruise dominates and Pedro Pascal simply gets destroyed, okay? But I mean, let's be honest. In the end, this isn't just about two actors, it's about two visions of Hollywood. Tom Cruise represents actually the legacy, respect, and a focus on the craft itself. Pedro Pascal represents a chaotic political Hollywood that puts activism above audience. One man is rising to the moment, the other is actually creating his own nightmare. Eddington may come and go, but Mission Impossible itself is, well, actually going to stand the test of time, so it seems. Now, Tom Cruise wins. Pedro Pascal, well, simply put, he blew it. So let me know thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed or shared in this video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for future uploads and notifications. And I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.